our channel. My name is Sam.
My name's Ryan.
And it's Super Bowl season.
These colors don't run. Go Vikings.
Yeah.
You weren't even close. The Super Bowl is happening. It's actually happening in Los Angeles.
I know, which I didn't know until I
got you those
week.
tickets.
What?
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
What? We are?
No, we're not. Very exciting Super Bowl between the away team and the home team.
It's the
Rams
LA
and
Rams
the Bengals?
I think it's the Cincinnati Bengals, right?
Yes, it is.
So they're playing here in Los Angeles, and we're in for quite a treat. I know nothing about sports, so when I say we're in for quite a treat, I'm talking about the halftime show, because you guys, I am gonna lose my mind. Here's a list of everyone who's performing at the halftime show this year. Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, J Blige, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my
California
gosh.
icons too, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, Eminem, such a California icon. Oh, I can't wait!
This is gonna be iconic.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, I don't want to speak for the both of us, but the halftime show is the reason I watched the Super Bowl.
I love football, but I also love the halftime shows, and I also love the commercials.
Yeah.
Frankly,
Iconic.
I am a Super Bowl populist. I watch it for all the reasons.
I love that. So we thought it'd be really fun to take a little trip down memory lane and make a tier list of previous halftime show performances. We are starting from 2015 because, you know, we didn't want this tier list to be
a billion years
old. What? Long.
We found it. We found it. They understand.
Yeah. So without further ado, do you want to get into like the tiers, how we're ranking this thing?
Yes. So here is how we are ranking them from the bottom tier up. The bottom-most tier is bathroom break. This is where you catch 5 minutes of the show, realize it's going to be an epic cringe, and get up, reload your plate, go to the bathroom, make a few phone calls, come back, realize that Adam Levine is still singing. I guess I gave something away. But that's our bottom tier. Moving up from there, our second to the bottom tier is second choice. Second choice is for the tier that, even though this was never confirmed and probably not true, we assume that this person was called in at the last minute because the person they really wanted to perform the Super Bowl got sick or something.
Middle tier is my mom didn't know who this was. You know, you probably knew, but your mom is probably sitting there going, who is that? What are they from? But you maybe still had a fine time. Next up from that is my mom did know who this was. You know, a family affair. Everyone can watch and wait for those two songs that they know, and you know, it's a fine show, but maybe not the best they've ever seen.
Yeah, but like everyone in the family knows it, love it, we're all bopping along, we're all having a good time. The top tier, most valuable player, baby, MVP. Some people just give you that show.
A performance.
And for those people, they get the MVP. They are the most valuable player of the Super Bowl over the people who are actually playing the game.
Over the game itself.
Yeah. So those are our tiers. Again, we are going from 2015. So chronologically, that's Katy Perry in 2015, Coldplay featuring Beyonce and Bruno Mars. I was actually there in San Francisco at the Super Bowl that year. It was epic. Then it's Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake in Minneapolis, my hometown, at the US Bank Stadium. Then Adam Levine, or was it billed as Maroon 5?
Maroon 5.
Maroon 5. Then it was J-Lo and Shakira, and then it was The Weeknd. So, those are the artists in question. Those are the tiers that we are going to put them in.
It's a little ironic that we're not drinking Pepsi.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. See, it's the Pepsi Halftime Show, but we're drinking Coca-Cola. Wouldn't we be a dream brand for you, Coca-Cola? The fact that we are just going against the grain and using your fine product anyway. Oh. So, our first artist in question is Katy Perry herself.
Miss Katy Perry. Now, this is a show that I remember watching from the comfort of my living room, and I was so excited because her discography.
Absolutely.
I mean, hit after hit after hit after hit. And I gotta say, it was a little lackluster for me. I think there were just moments that I thought she would really like go big or go home,
And she went home.
And she kind of went home. Like, I thought it was still a fine show. And there were a lot of funny, memeable moments, you know, like Left Shark, like the little sharks dancing behind her. But there were just quite a few moments where I thought, like, for example, at Firework, where she's going over the crowd and it's just that star above her that goes like...
Just puttering sparks. Like, I literally have put on a more spectacular show with sparklers on my back.
Like, I don't know, it just felt like I've seen Katy Perry on tour, and I think you have as well. We both saw the Prism tour, and like those sets, the dancing, the costumes, everything was like a show.
The dancing wasn't great, but she sounded amazing. She was like really giving you 150. The sets, the costumes, the concepts, were like all so on the money.
And I just felt like
this Super Bowl show, I mean, yeah, the googly-eyed trees and sharks and beach balls, the most epic song, Firework, like Queen of 4th of July, and like it's just like people on the field with little glow balls made out of paper mache. Like it all seemed so cheap, which is why my choice would be to put this in second choice, because it literally feels like, even the camera moves, like it feels like they literally, oh gosh, we're doing the Super Bowl tomorrow, we have to get there and just glue all this together. Like, it looked cheap, it felt cheap, the dancing was really bad. Like, there were points where she literally was giving you step, touch, snap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, Omaha Community Theater for the Super Bowl halftime show, honey, that is not it.
Yeah, I think some of it did look rushed, which I think falls into that second choice category of just like, maybe your creative team and you, Katy, just didn't have the time you wanted to like prepare for this. So I think this show goes in second choice.
Up next, we have Coldplay featuring Beyonce and Bruno Mars. Again, a show that I was at Boo Boo 2016 in San Francisco.
Oh, I mean, I think you should go first if you were there. What was your experience?
I remember being very struck by three things in particular. One, Super Bowl halftime shows are choreographed for the people at home, not for the people in the stadium. I was kind of like, what are they doing? Two, Beyonce and Bruno Mars absolutely brought the house down. And three, there were a lot of times where I was like, where's Coldplay, the headliner? So it's not that it was a bad show, it was actually a fantastic show. I just kind of am a little miffed by the fact that the headliner was literally not in sight for like 10 minutes of the performance.
Yeah, because when you think about even at Katy Perry's, like when she had Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott out, she was
like in evidence, she was still there, yeah.
She was like singing their songs with them. But Coldplay did just kind of dip when Bruno Mars and Beyonce came out and had their moment, which was iconic. Epic. Like Bruno Mars and Beyonce are the most like memorable parts of this show, and so the show itself was still fantastic. But I think we do have to acknowledge that the headliner was Coldplay, and like they were great, but like you don't really remember them, so it didn't really feel like a cohesive show.
Yeah, it's a top tier show, but the reason it's top tier is because of the two artists you invited that aren't you. So I think that puts it in the second best category. My mom did know who this was.
Yeah, and like we've seen Coldplay in concert and on their
fantastic.
own with like their own stadium budget and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's fantastic. It just like wasn't really.
And they were good. I mean, they sounded good. Their energy was great. They really felt like they were having a good time, and it was cool how they like included like student bands and stuff.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
It was very endearing, and they gave you what they do. It was just weird that then they disappeared for 10 minutes. It's sort of like, boo, like. Beyonce and Bruno Mars, when they played the halftime show, like they didn't just sit out and invite you to come play for 10 minutes. Like they did the whole thing. Where you at?
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly feel like Chris Martin was probably like, oh, we can get Bruno Mars and Beyonce, let them.
I mean, T.
I think that was their perspective.
T.
But I think my mom did know who this was, is the category where this show belongs.
Up next, Miss Lady Gaga.
Oh my god, 2017 was a great year. Lady Gaga
Do we have to spend very much time on this? I don't think so.
No.
MVP.
No, MVP. Like she gave you theatrics. She gave 150%.
She sounded really
great.
good, like super healthy, always in the pocket, no pitch issues, was actually singing for you.
Costumes, dancing, again, like was giving you a performance, and you could tell that she put her blood, sweat, and tears into preparing for this show. And everything was like she trained, because she sounded fantastic while she was doing all this stuff. So
the concepts were good too.
Yeah.
Like it was like a cohesive, well thought out, conceptual performance. On top of the fact, again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was actually at the Super Bowl in 2016 where Lady Gaga sang the national anthem.
Oh yeah.
And that national anthem, in my opinion, is second only to the iconic Whitney Houston. Like that national anthem was because she didn't do anything. She just sang the song, but she sang her heart out. She didn't riff for Jesus. She didn't do some crazy bluegrass arrangement. Like she just sang it.
Yeah.
And like, that's kind of how I felt about this show. Like she didn't do anything absolutely crazy. She sang the songs, she executed it flawlessly, and she gave us exactly what we wanted. Yep. That's MVP.
Fantastic.
You know what you are, you know what you have to do, and you come here and you do it.
And she did it brilliantly. MVP!
Fierce Lady Gaga. Thank you for providing me with 2 of my favorite Super Bowl moments ever. Up next is Justin Timberlake.
JT and the Tennessee Kids.
Another heartwarming and memorable sort of piece of Ryan lore in my relationship to this performance. This was in Minneapolis at the new US Bank Stadium. And Prince had just died, and Justin Timberlake did that beautiful tribute to Prince at the end, which me and my family grew up 10 minutes from Paisley Park. Like Prince is like a Minnesota, like he's obviously, everyone loves Prince, but he's like he's the Minnesota like legend, you know?
Yeah.
My favorite fun fact about Prince, this isn't about Prince, but I'm just talking about Prince. My favorite fun fact about Prince is the reason that he stayed in Minnesota is he was like, my crazy fans won't brave the cold. He's like, people leave me alone in Minnesota, it's too cold.
That's fantastic.
My sister served him coffee once. Okay, anyway, we're talking about JT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this performance was fun. Had some fun moments. He wasn't singing like a lot.
His mic was down by his side a lot.
And like, I get it, he was giving you like fun dance moments with his dancers and like cool performance beats.
Yes, but also like fun dance moments. Not like, he wasn't dancing hard. He was dancing fun. Yeah. Like, Beyonce and Bruno Mars danced harder than he did.
Yeah, Lady Gaga danced hard. So yeah, I don't know. It was like, there's JT singing those songs, I know, and like ending with "Can't Stop the Feeling" was fun, and Mirror was cool
with all the like everyone
all the reflective panels, remember? And again, I loved the Prince tribute. I thought that was beautiful.
Right, he caught a lot of flack for that. People were like, too soon, or like, what are you doing, or like, and I was just sort of like, what you're in Minneapolis the year he died, or maybe the year after he died, and you're not gonna acknowledge it? Like, I thought that flack was like so disrespectful.
He was an icon. Like, I think JT just like saw an opportunity to pay homage to, is it homage or homage?
I think it's homage, but you know, whatever.
I think he just saw an opportunity to pay homage to a legend and acknowledged like, I'm in Minnesota, like I have to do this.
I don't want to yum anyone's yuck. I mean, people can be reactionary on the internet all they want, and if you just hate JT because he did a beautiful tribute to a legendary rock star who died, then that's a hill you can die on, but I just did not understand that. All that is to say, like, I don't think it's MVP. It's definitely not Bathroom Break. Like, he kind of, this was a middle performance to me. This was like, my mom didn't know who this was. And my mom definitely does know who JT is, but I actually wouldn't doubt if he came out and like 75% of the way through the performance, my mom was like, that's Justin Timberlake, where are his curls? You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, okay.
My mom didn't know who this was.
I'm fine, middle of the road.
Great.
Oh boy. So next we have Maroon 5. And it's funny because the vivid memory that stands out to me the most is Adam Levine's horrible tank top. I remember being on Twitter as this was happening, and it was just such a boring performance that it was like, the thing people were talking about the most was this weird pattern on his tank top. Like, and everyone was like, when is he gonna take his shirt off? Like, when do we think that's gonna happen? And then of course, like a weird little striptease thing happened and he took his shirt off. And it's like, I like Maroon 5. I like a lot of their music, but it was just boring. The fact that I mainly remember his tank top and then just like Adam Levine is shirtless again tells me that this was bathroom break. It just was not like memorable. And I just remember thinking like, he looks like he doesn't want to be here. He looks like he's just like doing another concert, like singing all the songs he doesn't want to sing anymore.
Football is a really cringy sport. Like when you are watching these 300-pound semi-trailers of men just pile on top of each other and so many people get injured and concussed, it's really cringy.
Yeah.
And then when you finally get a halftime performance that somehow makes you cringe more, it feels like a very big disservice to the audience. I just remember being so uncomfy during this performance. I put this in the bottom tier too.
Yeah, it's a bathroom break.
Yeah.
You can listen to the music from the bathroom, which is nice, but it's like, you might as well just put on their music then at that point.
Yeah. J-Lo and Shakira.
I'm getting flustered just thinking about them again.
I get like, do we have to spend that much time on this?
No,
like,
MVP. Like two fierce, iconic women just giving 200%, both like just standing on equal ground, just dancing their butts off, like
singing for days, just bringing you hit after hit after hit. Beautiful production value.
The costumes, the looks.
Yes.
This was MVP.
Yes.
Like there's literally not. I think it might be my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I remember sitting there just being like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like it was iconic. It was MVP. I have no words.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again after this video.
Yeah. No, I mean, one of the best Super Bowl moments in entertainment history. It was so good. So last but certainly least, The Weeknd.
My guy,
Last year.
Was just not it.
What were you doing,
So
bro?
here's the thing. You know, a lot of my initial confusion and just like, what? Was like the whole bandages over the face and like all the dancers had those like bandages over the face, and apparently that was like promo he was doing for his album. And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever you want to do it. But if it's not clear, then like the promo for your album failed.
Yeah, there's an episode of Bob's Burgers where Louise's class is tasked with making dioramas, and she gets an all-white shoebox and puts a cotton ball in the middle and says that it represents the desolate nature of being an Arctic polar bear. And it's literally just garbage that is pitched as high concept art, but it totally misses the mark. And that diorama has more artistic merit than The Weeknd's halftime show.
God.
But even though they're representative of the same thing, which is just like, it is not good, but the person who did it really thinks that they've just achieved this like high bar artistic. And listen, if it was for you, like again, you know, everyone's allowed to have their opinions and we're allowed to have ours. Like nothing about this said like, wow, this is so artistic, wow, this is so well thought through. It screamed to me, this is someone who thinks that they're artistic, but isn't actually saying anything. It's Jaden Smith's tweets.
Yeah, like the concept just was not what it needed to be. And I saw so many articles while looking up, like just to give myself the refresher of this performance. All of the headlines were like, the most memorable thing about The Weeknd's performance was the memes that came out of it.
Yep.
Like, you know, that when he like has the camera and it's all like shaky in that hallway of lights. Like it was just, there were just so many moments where, yeah, it felt like, okay, Abel clearly thinks that he's doing something like super artsy. And like, if that is what he wants his art to be, then like, fine, great. But like, on the commercial scale that is the halftime show, it's not gonna land.
Well, the year after J-Lo and Shakira, you give us this hot garbage? Like, it's
not it.
No, it's just not it, man. Sorry.
So, I'm sorry. I like your
Bathroom
music,
break.
but
Yeah,
bathroom break.
Bathroom break. And for bonus content,
Boy.
where do you think this year's show is gonna land?
It is so hard for me to believe that with the roster of all of the icons that are performing at this year's show, that it like wouldn't be MVP.
I mean, like, these are like the best.
The best of the best. Like, so my prediction is that this year's halftime show is gonna be an MVP. I guess I could see a world in which, like, because I feel like it's, unfortunately enough, I feel like it's either MVP or like bathroom break. It's either gonna be so like horribly choreographed and shot that it's like cringy, or it's gonna be like iconic MVP.
I don't know. We watched. If you haven't seen it, watch like the trailer. Like the production value just of pitching the show to me really says something. Also, like, Eminem is a pretty, like, Eminem won't even go to the Grammys.
Yeah.
Like, his standard, and Dre too, like,
Kendrick, like his performances are like
Kendrick's performance at the I think it was the 2016 Grammys with the Fire. One of the best Grammy performances I've ever seen. These people, like, Snoop is a dinosaur, but the best kind of dinosaur. Like, frankly, I just hope he's off to the side cooking. I hope Martha Stewart shows up. Like,
well, and also, like, I feel like Dre doesn't often come out into the spotlight like this.
Dre and Eminem and like Snoop is a performer now. Like, these people are very choosy. And so if they're gonna do it, I think that they're gonna do it right.
And I think another thing that I'm overlooking right now is the budget that these 5 people have to put into like their teams and everything. Like, the budget is going to be out of this world for this show. So, it's going to be MVP, baby. I am so excited.
I can't wait. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. We hope that you enjoyed our tier list. We are sure that you disagreed with some of the choices that we made. And you know what? Oh well.
That's the internet.
Yep, just have your own YouTube channel and make your own tier list if you don't like what we said. But this is how we felt about these Super Bowl shows. Let us know in the comments how you feel, I guess. And definitely like and subscribe, because that's kind of like
the whole thing here.
Yeah,
whole relationship.
Those metrics kind of ensure our success. And if you don't want us to, be sucked into the black hole of content creators who slowly fade into oblivion on the internet, then you got to play your part too. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all later.
Vikings! These colors don't bleed! Never won a Super Bowl, ever. Bye.